Listen to me. Life will test you. It will break you down, strip you of everything you thought you had, and leave you questioning whether you've got what it takes. Some of you right now are standing in the middle of the storm, bills piling up, dreams slipping away, people doubting you, and that little voice inside your head screaming, just quit. But hear me loud and clear, quitting will not save you. Comfort will not save you. Only the grind will. The grind is the fire that forges warriors. The grind is the battlefield where champions are born. And the grind is the only bridge between the life you have and the life you want. So if you're tired, good. If you're scared, good. If you feel like you can't go on, that's exactly when you must dig deeper and keep grinding. When you decide to keep grinding, the very first step is understanding that pain is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Too many people run from discomfort, but the truth is, growth only happens when you lean into it. Every rep in the gym tears the muscle so it can rebuild stronger. Every setback in business or in life tears down your old limitations so you can come back with greater strength. You must condition your mind to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And instead declare, this is happening for me. That shift is the foundation of resilience. Pain, rejection, failure, these are signals from life pushing you to rise higher. If you hide from them, you stay stuck. But if you embrace them, you step into the version of yourself that is unstoppable. Grinding means you keep moving when the world expects you to stop. It means you see every challenge not as a wall, but as a door waiting to be broken down. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You create progress with the tools you've got, the energy you've got, the faith you've got, and the hunger that refuses to die inside you. The second piece is absolute commitment. Grinding is not about doing it when you feel good. It's about doing it especially when you don't. Anyone can show up on the days they feel motivated. That's easy. The great ones, the people who change their destiny, show up when they're exhausted, when the results aren't visible yet, when no one is clapping for them. That's the grind. It's a relentless decision to keep going regardless of how you feel. You rewire your brain by keeping the promises you make to yourself, no matter how small. Each time you follow through, you strengthen the muscle of discipline, and discipline creates freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, freedom from the limits you've been chained to. Grinding teaches you that momentum is everything. You may not win today, you may not win tomorrow, but if you keep showing up, keep striking, keep pushing, life eventually yields. Consistency beats talent, persistence beats luck, and hunger beats everything. When you grind, you prove to yourself in the world that nothing can break you because you've already chosen to rise no matter how many times you fall. Most people underestimate the power of clarity. They grind, but they grind blindly, moving without direction, and then they wonder why their energy feels wasted. The truth is, grinding without focus is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you push, but you stay in the same spot. The third principle is this: define your vision with absolute precision. When you know your why, the grind stops being punishment and starts becoming purpose. You're no longer forcing yourself through hard days. You're pulled forward by a mission bigger than your excuses. Ask yourself, what's the life you're building toward? Not in vague terms, in vivid detail. What does it look like when you get there? Who do you become in the process? Once your vision is crystal clear, your grind transforms into momentum. Every sacrifice feels like an investment. Every challenge becomes fuel. The grind doesn't drain you anymore. It empowers you because you know exactly where it's taking you. Clarity sharpens your focus, and focus is what turns effort into achievement. Without clarity, you burn out. With clarity, you burn brighter. The fourth principle is mastering your state. You can have the vision. You can have the plan, but if your energy collapses every time adversity shows up, you'll never sustain the grind. Energy is everything. You must take control of your mind, your body, and your emotions, because if you don't, the grind will chew you up. The strongest people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who know how to change their state when life knocks them down. When fear shows up, you can breathe it out. When doubt whispers, you can drown it with empowering questions. When fatigue sets in, you can reignite your energy with movement, with physiology, with rituals that snap you back into peak state. Remember, you're not a victim of your feelings, you're the master of them. Grinding is hard. It will stretch you, break you, challenge you. But if you learn how to reset your energy on demand, you can keep going when everyone else quits. The grind rewards those who stay resourceful in the darkest moments. Control your state, and you control your destiny. Consistency is the ultimate equalizer. Talent without consistency fades. Potential without consistency wastes away. You don't need to be the smartest. the strongest, or the most gifted. You just need to keep showing up day after day when most people quit after the first sign of discomfort. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum creates transformation. Think about it, one workout doesn't change your body. One disciplined decision doesn't transform your finances. One day of focus doesn't rebuild your life. But repeated daily action compounds into power. Small wins stacked over time create unstoppable results. The grind is not about bursts of intensity, it's about disciplined repetition. Anyone can push hard for a day, but who can show up when it's boring, when it's unglamorous, when nobody's clapping for you? That's where champions are made. You must link consistency to your identity. Stop saying, "I'll try." Start saying, "This is who I am." A consistent person doesn't wait for motivation. They create rituals, routines, and standards that carry them through. Consistency turns pressure into progress, and progress into victory. The sixth principle is embracing failure as feedback. The grind is full of setbacks. If you fear failure, you'll freeze. If you resist failure, you'll retreat. But if you embrace it, you'll evolve. Every failure carries a lesson, a clue, a gift, if you're willing to see it. Most people treat failure like a dead end. Winners treat it like a detour, a redirection, a stepping stone toward mastery. Think about the greatest achievers. They didn't get there by avoiding mistakes. They got there by learning faster than anyone else. Failure reveals your blind spots. Failure humbles your ego. Failure sharpens your resilience. In the grind, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. You must rewire your brain to see failure as data, not identity. Failing doesn't make you a failure. Quitting does. If you can stand up one more time, then you fall. If you can extract the wisdom from every stumble, then every setback becomes a setup for your comeback. Failure is not here to break you. It's here to build you into the person capable of handling the victory you're chasing. The grind rewards those who refuse to let failure stop them. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Most people run from discomfort, hide from pressure, avoid the very challenges that would sculpt them into greatness. But here's the truth. Growth never happens in comfort zones. The grind demands that you learn to reframe pain, not as punishment, but as progress. When your muscles burn in the gym, that's growth. When your mind aches from pushing through doubt, that's expansion. When your spirit feels tested by setbacks, that's resilience being forged. Pain is the toll you pay to cross the bridge to your next level. If you condition your mind to see pain as feedback, as proof that you're stretching into new territory, you stop fearing it and start embracing it. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who break through is not who experiences pain. It's who decides to keep moving through it. Remember, pain is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. Those who master the grind learn to turn pain into power, and in that process, they discover they are far stronger than they ever imagined. The eighth principle is surrounding yourself with the right people. No one becomes extraordinary in isolation. Yes, the grind is personal, but your environment either fuels you or drains you. If you're surrounded by doubters, complainers, people who settle for mediocrity, eventually their energy will seep into you. But if you align yourself with people who push harder, dream bigger, and refuse to quit, their fire ignites yours. Proximity is power. You need allies, mentors, and peers who will challenge you when you're slacking, celebrate you when you're winning, and remind you of your vision when you're tempted to forget it. The grind is heavy, and though no one can carry your burden for you, the right people can remind you why it's worth carrying. Audit your circle. Who drains you? Who inspires you? Who demands more from you than you demand from yourself? Cut out the noise, amplify the voices that empower you, and build a tribe that forces you to rise. Because when you grind in the right environment, your progress multiplies, your resilience strengthens, and your journey becomes not just possible, but unstoppable. Gratitude is the secret weapon of the grind. Most people think they'll feel grateful after they succeed, after they hit the milestone, after the grind pays off. But that's backwards. Gratitude is not the reward, it's the fuel. When you learn to feel grateful while you're still in the struggle, everything shifts. Gratitude changes your state. It pulls you out of scarcity and plants you in abundance. Even in the grind, when your body's tired, when your dreams feel distant, gratitude reminds you that you're already blessed with opportunities, with lessons, with breath in your lungs to keep going. It's impossible to feel fear and gratitude at the same time. It's impossible to feel doubt and gratitude at the same time. Gratitude doesn't erase the grind, but it makes the grind meaningful. It keeps your heart open while your hands are working. It reminds you that the process itself is a gift. If you want to master the grind, stop waiting for joy at the finish line. Bring gratitude into every step, and the journey itself becomes the reward. The 10th principle is patience with urgency. Sounds like a paradox, but it's the truth of every breakthrough. You need the urgency to act now, to stop procrastinating, to treat today like it matters, because it does. But you also need the patience to understand that real transformation doesn't happen overnight. The grind requires both. Too much urgency without patience burns you out. Too much patience without urgency leaves you stagnant. The balance is this: work like it must happen today, but trust like it may take years. Plant the seeds with urgency, water them with consistency, and wait with patience for the harvest. The grind is not about instant gratification, it's about delayed fulfillment. Every day you show up, you're depositing into the bank of your future, and one day, the compound interest explodes into results. Champions live with urgency in their actions and patience in their expectations. That's why they keep grinding while others quit. They know every step matters, even the invisible ones. They trust the process, but they never stop moving. That's the mindset that turns a dream into destiny. Legacy is the fire that keeps the grind alive long after motivation fades. If the grind is only about you, your comfort, your success, you'll eventually hit a ceiling. Because self-centered goals don't have the power to sustain you when the nights get too long, when the sacrifices get too heavy, when the rewards take too long to appear. But when you attach your grind to something bigger than yourself, your family, your children, your community, humanity itself, suddenly you've tapped into infinite fuel. Legacy is not about what you leave behind when you die. It's about what you live for right now. It's about becoming the example others can look at and say, if they could do it, so can I. It's about breaking cycles of limitation, poverty, fear, and doubt, so the next generation doesn't start where you started, but where you finished. Every rep in the gym, every dollar saved, every risk taken, every sleepless night working on your dream, it all compounds into a story much bigger than you. That's why champions grind harder, because they know they're writing history. Legacy makes the grind sacred. The 12th principle is never stop growing. The day you think you've arrived is the day the grind will break you. Growth is life and stagnation is death. Too many people reach a level of success, comfort, or stability, and then they ease off, they coast, they settle. But the grind isn't a season, it's a lifestyle. You don't grind just to achieve one goal, you grind because that's who you are. Growth means always looking for the next edge, the next lesson, the next challenge that will stretch you. It means staying humble enough to be a student even when you've become the teacher. It means knowing that no matter how far you've come, there's always another level. The grind is not about reaching the top of the mountain and sitting there. It's about climbing, then finding a taller mountain to conquer. Because growth is the oxygen of fulfillment. Without growth, even success feels empty. The grind keeps you alive, keeps you sharp, keeps you hungry. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. So never settle, never stop, never let comfort rob you of your destiny. Keep grinding, keep expanding, keep evolving, because your best is yet to come.